common question which gets asked around keto communities is that how much fat per day on keto should you consume to enjoy its benefits like regulated periods, higher energy levels, and weight loss? So in this video, I'll share with you 3 key facts you need to understand to be able to answer that question. And they are: number 1, the role fat plays in our bodies. 2, how fat works in different body types. And number 3, how much fat per day on keto should you consume to reap its benefits. So stay tuned for the rice and curry. Oops, sorry, no rice on the keto diet. Greetings and welcome to Keto Unify, a channel dedicated to sharing keto stories, research, and types of keto diets suitable for different groups of individuals. Firstly, why should we eat fat or pay any importance to it? After all, it has been labeled bad for health for decades. To answer that, we first need to understand that a weight loss factor is determined majorly by hormones that determine how the food we eat is used in our bodies and not by calories, contrary to what mainstream media will have you believe. You see, hormones are the most important factor when it comes to fat loss, not calories. When you're eating fat, insulin does not go up, unlike when you're eating carbs or protein. The fat gets stored in fat cells, and when your body notices your fat mass going up, the hormone leptin goes up as well. Now, leptin is the satiety hormone that signals your brain when you're full and that you have no need for more stored fat. So it makes you stop eating. It plays an important role in regulating how much you eat, but also how much energy you burn. A fit, lean person is sensitive to leptin, which means he or she will feel full and stop eating when their leptin rises, so that the body weight can go down again. When that person is force-feeding himself past hunger, their metabolism speeds up in order to burn the extra calories they ate. Remember, this is only possible because insulin remains low on a ketogenic diet due to the low amounts of carbs. Now, if you're overweight, chances are that you're resistant to leptin as well as insulin, meaning that leptin and insulin is unable to communicate with your brain properly. This means that when eating fat, the fat goes into your fat stores. Normally, your body would respond by raising leptin, which it does. But since you're leptin resistant, your appetite doesn't go down as much and your metabolism doesn't get increased the same way to burn excess fat that you ate. Saying that, if you're diabetic and go through cycles of low blood glucose where you feel hungry in between meals, you will need to add a little bit more fat with each meal so you feel more satiated until your next meal. This is only in the beginning of your keto journey until your body becomes fat adapted, that is to switch between sugar burning to fat burning. Over the long run, you will switch very easily between fat burning to sugar burning, back and forth. So the need for consuming fat will be less and less. Okay, so now we understand how fat works in different body types, but how much fat per day on keto can you actually consume to regulate periods, boost energy levels, and lose weight? Now, before we dive into that answer, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell icon to be notified when a new keto video is uploaded. Alright, so this is where a lot of people that are new to a ketogenic diet and are aiming to burn excess fat from their bodies make a mistake. They drink excessive amounts of bulletproof coffee, eat fat bombs, or add tons of fat to every meal even though they're not really hungry to begin with. By doing this, you're burning primarily the dietary fat you're taking in, or maybe even storing some of it, instead of burning what's already on your body. Those 70 to 80% of calories per day you get from fat don't need to come from the food you're eating every day. If you're trying to lose weight, reduce the amount of fat you eat, meaning you only add what is needed for you to be full, and you don't eat until you get hungry again. If you allow your body to get more calories from the fat it already has stored, you will lose weight more effectively. Combine that with 16-hour intermittent fasting and your body will start to burn stored fat more quickly. As a guide, consume between 20 to 40 grams of fat per meal. Now you can start off with 40 grams per meal, but if you're overweight or your weight loss has plateaued, then lower it to 30 grams per day and so on until you find your sweet spot. So, to summarize how much fat per day on keto you should consume, just remember this one big fat tip, no pun intended. Only eat when you're hungry and just enough fat to be full and then stop. Yes, it may take a few days to adjust your fat amounts, but that's not a problem at all. If your weight isn't shifting or your body is taking longer to be fat adapted, then you should consume a little less fat the next day until you find that sweet spot where weight starts to shift. This is of course assuming that you're eating low carbs, that is no more than 50 grams and ideally less than 30 grams of carbs per day. Now before you go, what I'm going to do is give you a free 10-part video series on keto for women and some gooey bonuses too, the link for which you can find it on the screen and in the description below. Until then, happy ketoing!